Biograft is a character that I never really played at all, and a character that I sometimes forget about when trying to play the game. Maybe because Biograft is one of two characters that I absolutely despised playing, but I wouldn't remember. After playing a lot of games with him, I wanted to talk about Biograft, what I liked and disliked about him as a character, and overall if I want to continue playing him or not. With that said, let's do a small overview on Biograft and his moves first. Biograft is the definition of a glass cannon in every way. Biograft has 50 HP and 75 shield, which combines for the lowest survivability stats wise. However, Biograft has high damage options at his disposal. His M1 does fast close range damage with his energy blades, but due to his passive, which is conveniently called Power of Biograft, he has a heat meter to watch out for. If you overfill the meter at the bottom, your M1 gets disabled for a bit, an explosion happens around you that damages you and nearby enemies. This can be used to finish enemies, but it's so much better to simply control your swings. His M2 Slash Storm is absolutely incredible, and he launches an X-shaped projectile. After it travels a certain distance or hits terrain like a wall, it has a hitbox that can do upwards of 40 damage if an enemy stays in it. This is incredible for not only finishing enemies or running away, but absolutely amazing with Biograft's Q. Biograft's Q, Echo Execution, is a fast projectile with a bit of a windup that does 10 damage and adds some sort of aim reticle on the target. Pressing Q in this window of time teleports you to the person and does another 10 damage. However, if you do it when they are under 25% of their max health, it immediately auto kills them. Biograft's E, Blink, literally blinks Biograft forward, damaging anyone for 15 damage. If Biograft hits someone, it immediately recasts and Biograft can do it again for a maximum of 3 times, which could theoretically do 45 damage to one person. Biograft also uses for mobility to get to higher places on a map or to escape danger. Biograft's finisher is Overdrive, which makes Biograft slash 50% faster, ignore the heat meter, and give 15 shield to Biograft with every kill. However, Biograft's HP and shield drains fast when in this state, which can make him completely prone to being shut down. Using his finisher again while in this state causes an explosion that does more damage depending on how much health you have, doing a max of 50 damage. This makes his finisher really hard to use and makes it a high risk, high reward finisher. Now, if Biograft's entire kit sounds like a glass cannon, then you'd be absolutely right. I love playing glass cannon characters in any game that has an option of them, as it makes you give incredible offensive power, while also making you prone to that same damage. This type of archetype in games exists everywhere, and Biograft is basically that, except in fighting. Being able to use all these abilities with each other make Biograft such a unique character to play as, since no character really involves all of their abilities like this in such a short burst of time, which made it incredibly refreshing to play. And since all of these abilities do tons of damage, you can usually chain together very well, like using your E on someone and then trying to hit an M2, or Q on the enemy to take them down. It's a little weird to explain, but you kinda get the idea here. And since he is a glass cannon, he has the mobility needed to be fun to play as. Not only that, Biograft is very satisfying to play as. Hitting a multi-skill combo on someone just feels so good because you feel skilled doing it, which playing as Biograft is a good feeling since he does require skill to play well. Especially when using his finisher, you have to think quickly while using it to get the most out of it when you do use it. It's not a finisher you can use at any time, but rather a finisher for situations in which you can absolutely tear weakened teams or take out a high value target quickly, and it feels great using it. I guess one more thing I should add is that Biograft has one very funny skin I use in all of the gameplay, and it's Floatygraph. I love Floatygraph. He is so silly. Okay, so I just gushed over about how much I love Biograft and his almost combo-like playstyle of using skills together to be a devastating damage dealer. Now let's talk about how hitting these is pretty hard. Having the lowest survivability as the glass cannon, Biograft can get completely screwed by anything. Yeah, some characters like Hyperlaser, Medkit, and Subspace can get completely eradicated in most scenarios, but when a character can bully Biograft away with chip damage like Rocket, or just do high damage combos on him like Sword, you won't realize how little survivability Biograft really has. A major issue I have with Biograft is pretty self-explanatory. Biograft is a skill character. Biograft skills are fun, but trying to maximize them and use them well is a challenge in itself. Mess up and your small health will be gone in a matter of seconds. And don't even try to rush more than 2 people, you will be completely dead with no chance when your abilities get on cooldown unless you don't engage. So if engaging groups is hard and is inevitable, you have to play somewhat patient with your playstyle. Just spamming M2s or rushing in with ease and out, maybe even using Q on someone or anything while regaining shield. It's a weird playstyle that I tried when I didn't want to die, and sometimes it worked. However, play too passive and you can barely get anything done, while if you start playing too aggressive and you'll be wiped fast. It's this combination of skillful play while balancing this type of burst aggression playstyle that makes Biograft a hard character to learn and use properly. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the finisher as well. Using this is an absolute gamble. Sometimes you'll get off in a good situation and then pick off some enemies very well due to the high damage output. Other times you get off in a good situation and get completely killed so fast and make no impact, just another kill for the enemies. Because of this, I am always reluctant in using it since it's a high risk, and the reward to make it worth barely has payoff because big groups of enemies are Biograft's main weakness. Combine that with the fact fighters like Boombox, Sword, Rocket, and Skateboard being complete nuisances and being able to wear down Biograft while keeping themselves healthy, Biograft has a hard time being a good character since his skill requirement is hard and makes playing him inconsistent and challenging as a result. I am very happy I actually dug into Biograft as much as I could. Not only was he a unique experience to try out, but he had his fair share of fun moments which I was not expecting. He was a fun character to try at times, despite the fact he was incredibly hard a lot of the time due to him being designed like this. I probably won't continue with him as a result of this, but I'm glad my opinion can shift on Biograft from being absolutely painful to actually being somewhat fun to use. It also shows how impactful a glass cannon character like Biograft can be when used right or wrong, since he is, again, a polarizing character in this game, and like no one else. I wish I could say more, but to cut it really short and to not make me go through a 5-minute speech, Biograft is a hard character. Thanks for watching.